So there are about 2000 edible fruits which the nature gives to us in the world. But only one particular fruit, that is grape, has been picked up for winemaking. And it beats common sense. When there are so many edible fruits, at least a few of them should be amenable for winemaking, and some of them must be available locally. Why can't we start thinking in that direction? If only we can open up our minds to possibilities beyond grape, then we have a huge market which is waiting to be explored.
In the Northeast and also in Meghalaya, the art or the cultural significance and the habit of making alcoholic beverages, especially from rice, that has been a centuries-old tradition. And rice wine or rice beer, whatever you want to call it, has a very special significance both in the Garo and the Khasi tradition. You have various types of rice wine, but fruit wine was something that was not practiced very often until about 1947, when British Captain Hunt, he got a license from the governor of Assam to produce what is often known as the Meghalaya sherry. He was the only licensed manufacturer. But then from him, other people started learning, and people saw that, started experimenting and found that homemade wines could be made with a large number of fruits.
Ide pai jonga Captain Harold Douglas Han ba sedang ningkong ya kanika kam winemaking, fruit winemaking apo Meghalaya. Tangba kanika winery jong Captain Han menta la don la laipo lai san snam bakham trekam show ngalamut ban revive yang kanika winery suki kan sa commercialize ki products bumi naka.
So I started making wine since 1993. So 30 years today. Well, those days it was difficult because I had no information how to go about it. The little bit of information I gathered was from magazines. Then I had a little book from my uncle on how to go about it. But that's about it.
The wine industry started taking off. It really, impinged and entered the consciousness of people of Shillong in 2002 when Michael Same, he started the first Shillong Wine Festival. And every year, this wine festival would be held, and then a lot of people used to come and attracted a lot of visitors until it actually became a tourist attraction.
With the winemakers who are already, doing it for hobby, we said, why not organize a wine festival so people will come and make it popular, and make it commercial at the same time. So that's how we came about this idea of holding a Shillong Wine Festival. The response was not so good when we first started. And the Kunlun swimming pool was the first venue where we started. There were quite a few winemakers at that time. There were around 8 of them. But anyway, we overcame the obstacles and we started. And from the wine festival first, then it's come to 18 wine festivals as well.
And then 2019, that was when things I think took a turn. Because 2019 we had the Northeast Food Show. And in the Northeast Food Show, we had invited winemakers from all over the Northeast to participate. And the response was like phenomenal, in the sense that I think that the wine pavilion was actually the center of attraction of the entire show. Our winemakers saw the kind of packaging that Nara Abba had brought, and the Bhutanese wines, and there was no comparison. So then I think the realization that the kind of quality that we have is not cannot match that of Arunachal or Assam or even Bhutan. So after the Northeast Food Show in 2019, we saw that there was this thirst or this hunger for learning more about fruit wines.
Yeah, to organize a wine festival initially, we had to get a temporary bar license from the government because the fruit winemaking was not legalized. So gradually, with the different wine festivals, we realized that it's time we legalize wine. So then we engaged with the different governments to legalize wine.
I was approached by Shri K. M. Kumar, who is the chairman of Meghalaya Farmers Empowerment Commission, And he told me, that he'd been working towards bringing out the homemade wine excise policy from excise department, but somehow, in the past 50 years, we could not bring about any policy, because we had seen the huge potential in CL 19, and he had been interacting with a lot of other stakeholders. And earlier only, annual festivals were held, annual wine festivals were held in Meghalaya. But that was only no sale was allowed legally. So that was the, backdrop where, Meghalaya Farmers Empowerment Commission, Shri Ken Kumar, he approached me, and you would not believe the idea of this whole thing came from our topmost leader, our dynamic Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Shri Conrad K. Sangma. He had, given us 3-4 scenarios around which we can work around, work around for our homemade wine policy. We had undertaken pros and cons of each scenario, and then came up with a blueprint, which again was discussed with Meghalaya Farmers Empowerment Commission, specifically with Kumar sir. So excise department, yes, did give birth to the excise policy, but then bringing this life to the policy is only the efforts of Meghalaya Farmers Empowerment Commission.
After we got license, we got a call from different wine store, restaurant, bar, restaurant. So we are very happy that we got our license, and we are able to showcase our products and sell our products in different restaurants.
Dauda singa dau license man name dauda singa wine store rangoba singa matam wine store rangode Caroline's ni area aro Shillong rangoba singa wine store rango singa doninga.
So once the policy has been notified, now ecosystem contained not just the enabling law, but also we needed to prepare our people. So whoever were there in the state who were inclined to make some wine, we picked them up. We took them to Nashik, showed them the process. They understood the whole thing. They came back fully charged, and we are supporting them in various ways by providing them the capacity building training programs.
I am really very thankful to the Farmer Empowerment Commission that arranged a 2-week exposure trips to Nashik and Mumbai last year, September 2022. And there, the dreams that I had of making wine become more realistic. Though we will not be achieved in the very close future, the things that we have seen there, but when coming back from there, I try to implement what I had seen there and what I have learned from there with whatever material available locally. And since then, I have a sort of enhance in winemaking, increased much more, almost 5-6 times what I have done last year.
Singa may bachi ang ha Mumbai na sipchi ang ha uno ang ni wine kutera ang nakataon jabisyo andigi mina krikka khosara na nanggen wine de krikka sa ni mina ang ko de reject ka ang ban de bang ko ba na sipchi de mga ligim na nga na sipchi angon ang ni encourage ong bata de namidaki ang ni gisik ko ikot harina joton kha ni gisik de sokpa.
We realize that if we are to grow our fruit wine sector, we need to train our people in professionally how to make wines. But it was uneconomical, also was not feasible for us to send, winemakers to Nasik, for 2-3 months for training. So we decided to invest in a training winery. We decided to invest and set up our own winery here in Shillong.
We are proud to announce that we are the only institute in the country to have its own winery at home. We are indebted and honor that with due permission from the Board of Governors of the Institute of Hotel Management, which includes our chairman Shri Dr. Vijay Kumar, our officials from the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, Shri Gyan Bhushan sir, Shri K.N. Kumar sir, Shri Shaulya sir from the Meghalaya Farmers Commission, who has given us constant support and also with the financial support in setting up the winery of the country.
I am the trainer for the wine appreciation course that is happening at IHM Shillong and it is organized by the Meghalaya Farmers Commission. So we did this 2 days appreciation course, which included not only wines in general, but grape wines, fruit wines and meads as well, having a more inclusive approach towards fermented beverages than just going the traditional grape way. By and large, the kind of products that we make as fruit wineries need awareness and education, and I think this is a first step towards that. And the kind of people that we had this time in the course, so they were housewives who were looking for revival. They wanted to look at something new. We had people from the F&B space. We had winemakers, and we also had we had farmers. That was very, very interesting. So we had farmers as well, and the kind of response that we got was fabulous. I was not expecting a full house in the first course.
We were invited by the Farmers Commission here to conduct a wine appreciation and a wine makers course, and it was the first time ever, but the way people turned out, about 48 people in the wine appreciation course and about 37 people in the wine makers course. For the first event was a fantastic turnout. People were very, very enthusiastic. There was a little bit of mixed feelings amongst the people. Reason being, they have been following their traditional method of making wines, whereas we come from a commercial background, wherein the processes involved in commercial winemaking to the processes involved in traditional winemaking of Meghalaya. There's a lot of difference, and people found it heavy in the beginning, where information and terminology that we were using was not familiar to them. But over the period of 3 days, I think people have got familiarized. They are understanding what we are bringing on table for them. We are trying to develop a sense of making commercial wines which can just not be sold in Meghalaya and Northeast, but also across the country and across the world.
We had these classes. It seems that it is a very, very wide course, training. And I'm going to be here for 27 days, and I look forward to learning all the perfections and all the flaws and everything about making wine.
Teman kini tok ke privilege bahaya wa da yo kam kini kan lat ke lutui wa da ilat ke primary wan kam kini ke training wa tok hai ni training ha ai man ko ke training ko wa yo mtoi bhai chibun ke training ngada de blai training on le jaj training ini teman kini tok ko wan man ko mtoi bhai ha kanu ko benta teman yo ye I proses ki so wa tok chei kham tam ki so tok bun bhagi nak per yong ne chaling yong chawes jan tia yong man ki so tok bun bha bun jaj bhagi so ti man tip ki kam jaj proses ki so.
Meghalaya Fruit Wines was one of the, I would say, one of the start attractions, because right from day one we had people were so interested, because this is an entirely new category of wines, and in the entire Win Expo and Sial exhibition, Meghalaya was the only one with fruit wines. So we had a very clear, unique, products. Win Expo actually gave us a free masterclass where we were able to showcase 4 of our best wines. And more importantly for our winemakers, there were a lot of inquiries. In fact, we had very, very positive requests from big brand restaurants like Olive. We had, we had requests from the Peruvian embassy. We had requests from a couple of embassies to make our wines available to these embassies. Or we had requests from the Lodi chain of hotels. They wanted to keep our wines in their hotels. Or we also were approached by the chefs of the DLF who wanted to put our wines also in their restaurants and in their hotels. I think all in all, it has been a very successful show.
So ban kan pau ke jingkemen bakrau ya ka bangan yo ya kalat ban wan jingo ya kanika International Win Expo ka balong hang ni po nong ba Delhi ya ka ba ka de ka Ransan ya ka ban yo e kalat ban peni sya ka perthai syapang kanika jing long kerpang jong ka jela jungi ha ka ban penmi ya kiniki fruit wine tekat nutam lada yo kum kani karan san ba ki brio ki jungi kamtam ki nong shna wine ba ki nong rap so kin su thu ba kadon ka yo ka hat but habadon ka yo ka hat kadon ka lat kanti ban la ban de ba kum juru kan kentiu ya ka yo ka kot jong ki brio ka jungi but kum juru ngas ngo ban ong ba babun na kiri jong ka perthai ki ba mi khmat hakani ka jaka kila yo ban wan ban tip khampa chapang ka jingdon kini ki fruit wine na po Meghalaya.
Shillong Wine Festival 2023 has been supported by the government of Meghalaya through the Department of Tourism, and this is for the first time that the government has stepped in to support this festival. And in the past 2 years, government has been able to eliminate whatever hurdles were there standing in the way of the farmers and winemakers of Meghalaya. And today we are determined to further enhance winemaking as an industry which will ultimately benefit all cross sections of society, starting with the farmers.
The way forward is essentially going to revolve around the entrepreneur. So preparing the entrepreneurship in the wine sector is our priority. Willy-nilly the benefit will go to our farmers only. So you must ask why Farmers Commission is getting interested in wine. It's not about wine. If you ask me very bluntly, I can say that, look, I'm not interested in wine, but I'm interested in my farmer selling his fruit to the winemaker. So the winemaker has to be created first, and once the winemaker comes into play, the farmer will be happy.
Nobody has come up to take our fruit, our local fruit, like so young, even so here also. We just sell it to the nearby market that the people will buy it at 10 rupees or 5 rupees, 20 rupees.
Tanpa ini senam kita dapat ia tungso pun syudi hayom tu kasok kebun tanpa syau pat kadiman keduna teh long ndon cakabanti tena du ba ni asnam pada dapat ba ini iba batir so tena mukran iwan sene iwan yakran ini mah ban chip so te ila shimet untuk kumba iwan ila kin tu isungo bakal kam toy mo yang kibat tungso long so dang ibun ru isimbet dak ndiat ru biang bet kemudian suka kalau nggak kamen toy yang iki sinong sini
nama rangi yo angne rangi yo kumba praton khnai ton kisok yo mi lamne kajaka ubado kumta ruton yuton bado angne nama roba jam ngimla ban lai ut kabashudi khotia kasurok kapisa kalau mapot keng kato sispa kato sanspa kapor kabampor ba rap sokatlia kata unusok yang filong kamta tenteng kam ai hok ya terpisah ya kot ya kador kamat kebun kam ni kam sok bun kini kinang sinawan keng isi wan bat kisu jembek kisah lo suka sibek
ono la iba in teng bet pansim nim sangi nam thong kan yu wijat sor macam ni jika jungi kam tadi kalong te pantong isok tangpa la don ke jaka bandi nim thong
nang rep sore kidayo iska penya tu ki mentoi dayo ruman deki chudai kutia ka chuyo an marumala bundong da mentoi ka senda ongrai buku mentoi re wa ongrai ka mentoi hi nang ba ka chu yai khniet vai kendu marlok ar padu da kalau mai yai.
So way forward for me is to have as many winemakers with as many brands as possible, with as much sophistication as possible, so that it will not just be a state product, it will be a national product, it can be a global product. Once it becomes a global product, sky is the limit, and Shillong should emerge as the fruit wine capital of the country, that is non-grape wines.
Thank you so much
for joining us here today on this lovely September morning at the Geo World Convention Center for the inauguration of Win Expo 2024.
Past 1.5 or 2 days has been really exciting for especially for fruit wines in Meghalaya, with the biggest pavilion and the only pavilion with fruit wines in this entire expo.
These are products that have come from the northeast, about which very few people know. Second, also because of the totally different and exotic and indigenous fruits that have been used to make these wines. As for the tasting, I don't think I can compare it with any of the wines that I've ever tasted, either here in India or abroad, because they were all from grapes. So it's difficult to also be able to judge them in the correct perspective. But that said, I think it's probably for me the beginning of a new discovery.
Tagasngi ngalayo bansaki yakini ki winemakers jongi Port Meghalaya ki layawan shimbenta hakni wine expo namar bunsen ki brijongi ki shnaya ka wine tang for own consumption kimpat tip ya ke along kimpat yo platform nagbata ban expose ki wine joki balashna haki chong jaka Remetagas ngi layo iba naki country tuli santli ngi layo ban select ban ya kata kasap chongki bat kini ki santli ngi laya persyang ban ya taste ru ya ka quality chongki along comparable but ki way part ki wine makers chongka parthehi bro ko way.
It's got beautiful texture, the balance, it's beautiful, the palate, it's such a smooth and soft finish it has.
What I found very unique today was getting introduced to the fruit wines of Meghalaya. Being here in the wine industry since a long time, I was not quite aware of what Meghalaya had to offer us. And attending the masterclass and after having good amount of tasting sessions of the Meghalayan fruit wines, I would still recommend the Tigism, that's the wine that is put up. It's a very unique as a fruit wine, and of course I think it is going to be there to rule the fruit wine market for a long time.
We are here participating in Win Expo Mumbai 2024, which is a big platform for us whereby we are showcasing our wine and letting people taste, and we get so much of like positive feedback from our people here because they really feel like fruit wine is something unique, because like in the market we will find less of fruit wine and more of grape wine, but in here we are very fortunate to meet so many people from all around the world.
There are a lot of experienced winemakers that have come and tried our wines from Meghalaya, and they have a lot of feedback. They have some good reviews, some bad, but along with the bad, they gave us a good feedback how to improve the wines.
The experience here was different. It's really good, and I hope participating in this event like this will help my business grow.
And I hope that what we can take from here is that we will take the best feedback, the best advice, and we can grow more and make our wines better. Thank you so much.
Our state government is committed to make our state Meghalaya a wine hub and wine tourism in future. And I do hope to see you all, especially all the exporters, importers, producers, winemakers, to come to our place too.
There have been a lot of exporters who want to now explore the world of Meghalaya fruit wines. There are a lot of exporters also who inquiries, and quite a number of them have said that they would like to come to Meghalaya to actually have a look at the wineries and also to taste the wines at the manufacturer level itself.
I think the world should know how each of these single unique ingredients from Meghalaya taste, and the producers have done a remarkable job showcasing the flavors and their roots through their product, their wines.
These have been an absolute revelation. They're so good. Some of the fruits we had never even heard of, and then the wines that they've made available over here, simply excellent. Cannot wait for these to be available in our local market.
We work in the craft alcohol segment, and we're here at Win Expo. We've been here for 2 days. Just as we were leaving, a friend of ours recommended that we try the wines here, and we've had our minds blown. There's some lovely stuff going on. We didn't know Meghalaya had such lovely wines. We are now planning on making a trip to Meghalaya to come and discover all the different types of fruit wines. So thank you guys for coming in, and thank you for introducing us to lovely wines of your area.
So I think it's been very successful for our winemakers. I can see them, they're very happy. They're really now realizing the kind of position they are in. They're kind of realizing that the kind of quality that is out there in the world. They're realizing the kind of refinements that they have to do now, because based on the feedback and here we've been getting a lot of sommeliers, quite a number of the blue set level visitors. So I think it's all in all, it's been a very good experience.
So this course was basically designed to sort of cater to those people who have already done some basic winemaking course, or who are already into this profession of winemaking, who are already selling some products in the market, who are already hobby winemakers, who do understand the nuances of winemaking and the science behind it.
This advanced winemaking course dwells deep into the organic chemistry of the fruits, wherein the farmers are selecting fruits just not on the basis of brix and acidity, but dwelling deep into the phenolic compounds, the aromatic precursors of the fruit, which helps them to make a product which is of international standard and find a worthy market for themselves.
I have been looking forward to getting to know how to make wine that is refined and that can be put in the commercial market, and this has given me the ample opportunity to come and learn the techniques.
Tôi chơi một cả tăng cái training cái người layo im người layo siya jing tôi một nadong siya dong layo inang ni một cả bansawan thì một kalahikai hi yang ni
ba kan ni ka training ka bang yo menta ni class ni telong ka Jikmi lenti jonga hi kalong kumno bangin learn no bangin tip shu hawede bat kumno ban chna ban pan bhaya ki wain na ki so baper kumno ban pan kam ya ki mo ya ki acid chemicals baper ki ba don kam ban chna hakanika wine processing ayu.
By the end of the course, I expect bangin yo learn kamha show pang kumno ban treat ki chemicals ki wine ngapa nang bha kumno ban ken ni kumto dia ban yo ka way ka expectations ti kan dei ba kumno ngila ban produce ka wine ka ba biang ka bangila ban de ki way ru long ka profit ka di ban yo ni de ban yo profit na kan ka ka bangi pulie menta.
If anybody gets a chance, you should come to Meghalaya Farmers Association here at IHM to learn more about wine and fruit wines, be it how far away you're from home. And I hope and wish that every government takes more interest in doing such sessions for their own locals or for anybody who can do more with fruits of their state and others.